On April 10th, 2024, users of the weather monitoring app Ventusky noticed a peculiarity emanating from a small location in the South Atlantic Ocean. The tracking system detected and displayed readings of 85-foot or 26-meter waves in a large area of the South Atlantic Ocean, all emanating from the world's most remote island, Bouvet Island. The blob itself was an enormous patch of purple coloration on the software that moved up from Bouvet Island towards South Africa. The coloration indicated the height of the waves. This was immediately noticed by people. Was Africa about to be hit by an enormous flurry of tsunamis? More importantly, exactly why were all of these alleged waves emanating from the same location without any logical explanation, like an earthquake occurring beforehand? Well, the most logical answer is that the waves didn't actually exist. We know this because there was no photographic evidence of the waves, shipping lanes weren't disrupted during the time period, and there was no environmental evidence to suggest that multiple 26-meter high waves were speeding up the Atlantic Ocean. All that existed was this so-called blob on ventusky.com. However, whether or not the waves existed physically wasn't all too important. The primary question quickly became, why did the blob exist? And why did it seem to originate from this mysterious small island between South Africa and Antarctica? Let's explore the island in this week's episode of Red Thread. Welcome to Red Thread, everyone. It's been a serious few weeks in between watching Chris Chan drink his own ejaculate, as well as talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's time to get back to our roots a little bit and talk about a little funny, quirky conspiracy with no real world ramifications. So thank God you're here to walk me through this one, Jordan, and keep me in check and keep me comfortable during this. It's very out of our comfort zone now.
Oh, it would be absolutely my pleasure to delve into what is a blob on a screen. And we're going to pad this out for 2 hours,
an hour and a half. Yeah, maybe.
Strap
we'll see how
in.
far.
That's the real
mystery
of this
the blob
podcast.
Can go.
Yeah.
I should note that the blob isn't the only thing we'll be covering in this episode. There's a bunch of different components to the Bouvet Island mysteries, let's call them. One of them involves potentially a cult, and the other that we'll be covering is, of course, the blob. So there are two parts to this video, basically. But we're starting with the blob because it's the thing that really propelled Bouvet Island into some people knowing about it. I'm not going to claim that it's hit the mainstream or anything.
Yeah.
This is very niche. This is a niche topic.
Yes.
It was mainly a TikTok trend, yeah. You've never heard of it?
No. But Bouvet Island, I've got to say, does sound delicious. Is it famous for anything?
It's famous for being the most inconspicuous island, the most remote island. It is the most remote island. It's literally in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean, about 2,000 kilometers away from anything else. So I think it does take the record for being the most remote island, which lends itself well to conspiracy theories and stuff already.
And this is a stupid question, but no one lives on Bouvet Island, I'm assuming.
No one lives on Bouvet Island. So
I saw a picture of a seal. Wrong again, Jackson.
You and I could just sail there and conquer it if we wanted to, really. I don't think anyone's going to put up too much of a fight. If we go there and lay claim to Bouvet Island and just stay there, they're not going to send the army.
That's true. It's squatters' rights. It's willing for anybody to take it. I will say this, though, Jackson. I feel like we would be overextending our military presence bringing 2 people. We really need 1 to raise a flag. Unless for some unforeseen reason I lost my hands on the way and then you act as sort of the army reserve.
You're trying to get out of this, aren't you? I'll be your squire. I can be your page. I can bring letters from back home to you to read. And I can translate your letters maybe and write them out.
All right. As long as when I get out of bed each morning, you put that little useless wooden step there between me and the floor, I think we've got a deal.
to make your journey to the floor a little bit safer.
Read my letters for me in bed. Put the step there. Obviously, you have to empty the chamber pot. That goes without saying.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yes, very good.
I
we'll
hope
be
for
sharing
comical
a chamber
senses, it's there's a lot of updraft in the water on the way there, and it spills on you a lot.
pot. I'm going to die of like tuberculosis like 3 days into the trip. Your squire will be gone. You'll have to send
it's an old
word back
school
to my
army.
family.
Most people die of disease more than actual combat. Yeah.
I'm imagining we're in a little rowboat as well. It's not anything grand. It's just a little. I'll be rowing the entire time. I'll get so jacked from that shit. That's gonna be great. All right. Outside of our little adventure to Bouvet Island, which we'll chronicle in an upcoming video, I'm sure, we'll disappear for 3 years and come back with one hell of a documentary. First, let's start with the most boring aspect of these kinds of things, which is the official explanation. Yawn. Ventusky issued a statement on the 12th of April 2024 that read, quote, despite numerous reports of UFOs or Atlanteans launching from the ocean, yesterday's image of giant waves near Africa was due to a model error. Fortunately, our provider, the German Meteorological Institute, has already resolved it and the forecast is fine, end quote. This seems logical and boring, considering that there were no reported waves in the area, and the simplest answer is probably usually that the modeling that composed the visual element of the website was simply bugged. However, people quickly also noticed that this wasn't a one-time occurrence. In fact, the blob was also found in the same location in February, March, and then again in April, always having come from Bouvet Island itself. What the heck? What exactly was this island capable of? And what did it want? Let's find out. It said we
Great
need to negotiate with the island.
Yes. Okay, so it's obviously a sentient island, and wow, that's in the official explanation as well. Well, this did get interesting.
Very quickly.
Okay, so the Meteorological Institute, a part of its duties is contact with the island.
Yeah, well, how do you think
Not its people, there are
data?
no people. Yes. Exactly.
It's the only way that they can get data is by communicating with the island itself using rain dances and such. That's how we get our weather forecast. Which is actually, that would explain why my weather app has said that it was meant to be raining today and it has not, a single drop has not fallen from the sky yet. I always get so annoyed at that shit because I get so excited about rain, man.
Why do you get excited about it? You're not a farmer.
Are farmers the only people that like rain?
I think so. I think you're in a small group.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're
so out of touch.
Am I?
You're so out of touch. Yeah, you don't like rain?
I suppose that's not a very Australian thing to say. I guess you're right. Maybe I am a British person. Yeah, I guess that makes me British. Don't like rain, like neighbours. I'm British. I have not fully been assimilated to this culture yet.
You don't like rain because your British clown makeup that royalty wears will like run down your face or something? Like, what does this have to do with Britain? They don't. Oh, because it rains so much over there.
Because it rains so much. And yes, the makeup is a part of that. It's very difficult to uphold. And it's not cheap. And it's almost as if God doesn't want you to put lead on your face.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal for you because you've got me, your squire, to hold the umbrella. It's fine. You don't need to worry about rain.
I suppose that's true. Wow, it's incredible that if we were playing Dungeons of Dragons, you would immediately go to the shittest option possible. I'm going to be a squire, no magic powers.
Just umbrellas.
What do you do even if... Yeah. Yeah. Hold umbrella, hold chamber pot. I guess it's part of the character. You say, would you like me to roll the dice for you, Shy? And yeah. No, I believe I'll roll it this time. Very good, very good.
Very good, sir. I'll be over here with your chamber pot. Bouvet Island, an uninhabited subantarctic volcanic landmass that constitutes the top of a shield volcano. I didn't know there were different variants of volcano. Well,
what the hell's that?
Shield volcano. They're the big ones, right? I'm pretty sure shield volcanoes are like massive.
Well, they seem pretty big, but then again, I can't compare it to an average. But go on.
Yeah, it's a broad. It's so like when you think of a volcano, you think of like it peaking up, right? Like in kind of like a mountainous formation. Whereas it seems like shield volcanoes are more of a broad domed volcano with gently sloping sides. So they're like more of a hill than anything.
Wow, what a great name for an 80s film. The Lava Dome.
Damn.
I wish
That
I
sounds
saw
like
that
an awesome
film.
action movie.
I know.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, so it constitutes the top of a shield volcano, and it was first officially spotted and mapped in 1739 by the French explorer Jean-Baptiste Charles Bouvet de Lozier during an exploratory mission in this. I mean, it's the most French-sounding name ever.
Isn't it?
I wish I had a French name. French names, I don't like the French in general, but the French names are so cool.
They definitely sound much more classy. Except for this.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the word Baptiste, and they all seem to be called Baptiste.
Why
That
not?
seems to be
Baptiste
their
sounds
John.
cool.
Or maybe Jean is John.
Yeah, Jean. I think Jean is John.
John is John.
What's wrong with Baptiste?
Well,
I like
what's
it.
Baptiste? Bob. John Bob. Do you like
John
Baptiste?
Bob Charlie. Yeah.
John Bob
Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah.
Bouvet might be souffle. Then again, that is another French word.
De
it just keeps
Lozinger.
going.
Lozier reminds me of
de
Lozier reminds me of Lozinger. Yeah.
Such a dumb thought. Let's convert this to English, having no knowledge
John
of
Bob
French.
Charlie. What did you say for Bouvet? John
Souffle.
Bob. That's still a French word, isn't it? It's not even English. John Bob Charlie Lozinger during an exploratory mission in the South
Now, what's
Atlantic
wrong with
Ocean.
that name? You think the French one
Yeah.
sounds fancier than that?
That's actually the name of my squire, my squire character, John Bob Charlie Lozinger.
Lozinger.
Yeah, so this guy, this very fancy man with about 12 different names, he found this during an exploratory mission in the South Atlantic Ocean. They chose not to make landfall as the island was extremely inhospitable and inaccessible owing to the sheer cliff sides that make up its perimeter. Existing 1,620 kilometers away from the nearest landmass, that being Antarctica itself, and 2,520 kilometers away from Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, the island is considered one of the world's most remote islands. In fact, I think it is the world's most remote island. The Frenchman who discovered the island accidentally mislabeled the coordinates for the island, however, and so it was not sighted again until 1808. Well, how do you lose an island? I mean, I guess it's easy when it's in the middle. It's literally the most remote island ever, but still, that's your one job is to label this. You're on an exploratory mission.
You had nothing else to do for thousands of kilometers. And you screwed that up. I guess you're out of practice. It's kind of like saying to Michael Jordan, play ball again.
Unless the conspiracies, the island could be moving. We don't know for sure yet. We'll find out soon.
Okay,
maybe it moved
so
from
he
its
didn't
original
mislabel
position.
it. Damn.
Yeah. It's moving. It's alive.
Bouvet, not the man, the island, playing tricks yet again.
It was not sighted again until 1808 when the British whaler James Lindsay stumbled across the island. He chose to name it Lindsay Island. However, he too dared not step foot on the landmass. What were you going to say?
I don't know why he was scared to stand on the island. It doesn't seem particularly threatening. But okay.
It's inhospitable in the sense that like getting onto it is really hard. It's like surrounded by sheer cliffsides. It's more of like a glacier than anything.
There's got to be some way on. No beach
at all. There is, but he had to be home. He had whales to catch or whatever.
It was a long way away. It would have been quite the trip. Fair enough. That's true. I feel sorry for anybody that comes across an island, calls it their own island, and then, this guy that mislabeled it and lost it. That's how important this island is to him. He owns it.
Yeah. I mean, technically, this guy did discover it, considering, it had been lost to time, basically.
Put down the coordinates?
Yeah, he did it all by the books. He wrote it down and stuff. The other guy didn't. This should be his. We should still be calling this Lindsay Island.
You lost the island.
Opinion.
This should be the same rule that applies when you find a watch in the street.
Finders keepers.
Finders keepers.
Yeah, agreed. Which is why we need to go there and just stay on it. Like you said, squatters' rights. Eventually, we'll be able to rename it to whatever we want. Red Thread Island.
Red Thread Island? Oh, I was going to go with Lozinger Island. Especially because if you do look at it from a stop, it does kind of look like a fisherman's friend. And
yeah, it does look like a lozenger. That's good enough for me. However, he too dared not step foot on the landmass. The island was then claimed by the British in 1825 by George Norris, and he chose the name Liverpool Island. He was unaware that the island had been previously discovered by Bouvet and then rediscovered by Lindsay. In 1927, the first Norwegian expedition landed on the island and claimed the island for Norway. And following a resolution between the United Kingdom and Norway over claiming rights, the island was declared a Norwegian dependency, and it was named Bouvet Island after its initial discoverer. Ultimately, in 1971, it was designated as a nature reserve. I think I've said it in a previous episode of Red Thread, but I love the age of discovery and age of exploration of the early, the 1700s, the 1800s, and to a lesser extent the early 1900s, when we were actually discovering new places constantly. Of course, there's the debate about, well, the conversation about people were already in a lot of these discovered places, so were they really discovered? No, but still, it's the idea of venturing out from one's home and exploring this untamed, undiscovered world is it's so much more exciting than the age we live in.
Would have been way better. Because
apart from the dysentery and stuff like that.
I'd take it as one of the cons of the job. I would much rather have scurvy and wear a wig on the high seas than look at this grainy picture at the moment and think like, did the Department of Meteorology screw that up? Or is this the most interesting thing I've ever seen in my life, this blob?
Yeah, the question is always way more interesting than the answers, and we live in an age of answers, which is a shame. I prefer the age of questions, when we used to go out and discover things.
Yeah, the age of discovery is so much better than the information age. The information age is exactly what we're looking at now. Text. Always reading text. Never really experiencing the real wide world out there of, what was it again? Dysentery. Diphtheria.
Yeah. But
syphilis.
You're coming at this from the angle of a lord, like you were talking about already having, your powdered wig on what I imagine was a large galleon or some kind of like massive vessel with a crew of subordinates.
You're right
looking
to
at it from the angle, looking at it from the angle of a squire, I've got to say, probably not the best working conditions and best life. So maybe
Jackson, you've been fantasizing about being a squire for 20 minutes straight now. Don't lie and say you don't want that life.
Yeah, but it's kind of like in the concept of fantasizing about it in a romantic, idolized sense. Whereas if I had to live it, I probably wouldn't be fantasizing about it that much.
I suppose not, because you are living it. You can't fantasize it by definition. I'm telling you though, Jackson, you would like it. You'd like cleaning out the chamber pot of a lord. That's way better than your current life.
Being a business owner and house owner and person living in good health in the current era. Fuck that. Give me a lord's chamber pot, please. Make it extra dirty.
And no TV or any entertainment at all to distract me from the fact. I can't listen to an iPod while I'm cleaning out the shit. I have to focus on that entirely.
I live
every
for one
day
purpose,
of my life.
Chamber pots. That was what I was born for. The island itself isn't home to much other than what can best be described as an Antarctic base called Norwegia Station, which is operated by the Norwegian Polar Institute. The facility is manned by 6 individuals every summer, and the advanced station can be found on the northwest coastline. Other than this research base and a mention in Alien vs. Predator and the unique remoteness to it, Bouvet Island is overall rather unimportant. That was at least until its connection to the blob. To make the blob situation even more suspicious, people quickly noticed that Bouvet Island is left unnamed on Google Maps, meaning that if you zoom into where the island sits, there are no names or other labels present that you would find on other landmasses. Indeed, you see these labels on smaller islands located nearby, like Zawodowski Island to the west, which is far smaller, but not Bouvet Island itself. You have to actually manually enter in Bouvet Island into the little search bar to be taken to the island. Good luck finding it by scrolling through the Atlantic Ocean. It is a a needle in a haystack. Other islands are always made evident by their label name hovering above the island itself, but Bouvet Island, however, is different. It has no such identifying label on the map, but clearly Google Maps indexes it as Bouvet Island regardless, which has only helped add to the mysterious element of the island. Why do you think that is, Jordan, as a computer expert?
Oh, obviously because they're trying to hide it from the public because it's a sentient island, and that's what it has told the researchers. That's the only thing
because
that you can
it's,
conclude.
as you said, maybe because it's a sentient island that, as we know, moves around constantly, is always on the move. It's really hard to label it because it keeps moving away from where the label is.
Okay, so the one thing that we are absolutely certain about is the fact that it's sentient and that it does move around. Sorry, there's two things we're certain about. The argument goes as to whether or not the island is in contact with the researchers and telling them not to label it, threatening them with squishing their families with its landmass, or possibly the fact that the researchers are too lazy to do their job. One is either gross negligence and the other one is gross cover-up. Either way, it's gross.
Compelling stuff. Chapter 3, the theories. So, at the core of the story, we have a mysterious island, sentient island, surrounded by peculiar weather reporting phenomena and very little concrete answers that feel at all satisfying. Of course, given the peculiarity around this frequently occurring phenomenon, people have suggested all sorts of theories, from the military blowing stuff up in the area, the high-frequency active auroral research program, or HARP, operating in the area, to, of course, aliens and underground societies living on the island itself, to so-called leviathans supposedly spotted in the area. Understandably, this event is a hotbed for all of these classic conspiracy theories, and for good reason. It's undeniably a very interesting and peculiar location whose reputation is bolstered by oddities to do with the weather monitoring software. While there is little evidence to suggest aliens, leviathans, or underground societies operate on the island, people do point at so-called submerged antenna arrays, which is pictured in the document. I don't know if you can see it right now. Can you see that on the Google Maps?
Yes, I can.
What do you think of that? They point to it as evidence of something similar to the HARP program being employed here.
Look, that would be very cool if what I'm looking at is that. However, I am not qualified enough to even know what I'm looking at, let alone describe if it's a conspiracy or not. And let's be honest, I don't think anybody that labels this as HARP does either. Don't you think?
Well, to be fair, it does look like one of those, the little antennas that people have on their roofs to pick up like TV networks and stuff.
Yes, that is fair. But what's your point, though?
I don't know what they're called.
It has access to cable TV.
Yeah, I guess the sentient island really wants to watch Fox TV. And that's the only way.
Oh, well, who doesn't
underground antenna
want to watch World Poker Tour Championships?
No, I reckon that the island's interested in watching the Fox animated afternoon
Animation
rundown.
Domination?
Yeah, Animation Domination, yeah.
He's got good taste, I'll tell him that. And
that
also,
it'll
be great because have you seen the base that's on there that the Norwegians have?
Yeah, it's very small.
It's very small, but also looking at it, man, that island would be into Storage Wars. Now, that is running 24/7 on cable. I don't know if it is in the United States. Stock standard question from Australians to Americans, as is part of this podcast tradition, and it's a two-parter here. One, do you have Storage Wars Canada in the United States? Two, do you like Storage Wars as much as Australians do? Is that a worldwide 50-year-old man's greatest show of all time?
Oh, they love
sick.
Storage Wars.
Deal or no deal, working class edition. You like Storage Wars too? Might be the best show ever made. It's better than The Twilight Zone. More mysterious.
You know how you're like your 80-year-old grandmother, every time you go over to her like retirement village apartment or whatever it is, she's always got on like Antique Roadshow or whatever that is. That's all that is. It's like it's a less classy version of that that's funner and more digestible for us squires.
That's probably it for you squire. It is, it's squires.
It's Squire content.
Okay, Antique Roadshow is for lords and ladies.
Lords. Yeah, exactly. And us squires
Storage
are in
Wars
the
is
tavern
squires and
watching
squirettes.
Storage Wars.
Come on, let there be an antique chamber pot in this one. Oh, foiled again. Oh, well, I suppose you can use that bucket as a chamber pot. It's very funny thinking that squires only see value in chamber pots.
Yeah, that's how
their currency.
That's the most important antique to them. It's the thing that they clean each day. They rate
everything is seen in value of, can this be used as a chamber pot or not? Civ partial chamber pot worth 50 quid.
I paid in chamber pots. Like, that's my currency.
And you're very excited to get them.
For a good day of hard work, I get a nice chamber pot at the end of the day. I wonder if there's like an award ceremony for the cleanest chamber pots or something like that, end of year, like employee of the year
instead
kind
of like
situation.
A Oscar, like a Potsies or something.
Yeah, a Potsy, yeah.
A Potsy award. I don't think that squires would really be into that level of ego gratification that Hollywood celebrities would be into.
You're right. They're more humble
proven.
At the end of the day. You have to be humble to get down on your hands and knees to clean a chamber pot. That is entirely
to clean
humble.
One of these celebrity shits, yeah.
We should make a played for serious dramatic movie. And I know I'm aiming high right now, talking about making movies, but we should make one that just follows the life and history of a chamber pot cleaner. just played, like, not even as a joke, just fully serious, like 3.5 hours of this man's existence.
That would, it ironically, could be Oscar bait.
I was going to say, it could be Oscar bait. It depends how you play it, obviously. It has to be fully serious. It has to be it has to tug on your heartstrings.
Yes. Well, if it's fully serious, I mean, you could call it the Chamber of Secrets, but I think that probably
yeah, fully serious. Nice.
But yeah, fully serious name is that one. Obviously, you have to go with the Squire, and then immediately you could turn it into a very cheap early 2000s comedy by calling it Squire for Hire, don't you think? That immediately reigns. That's the crap font that they use. Oh, okay, that's number 2.
We're making the Chamber Pot cinematic universe here. We're going to have a bunch of different Chamber Pot related movies.
No, come on. Yeah, all right. So the first one is a very serious Oscar, and then it completely warps.
Squire
Everyone's mind comes out. No, the next one is just called The Squire 2.
It's now an action movie for some reason. What would be the horror movie?
Chamber of Secrets.
No, Chamber of Secrets isn't. No, that's like that's a kid's adventure movie based around the idea of chamber pots.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Horror movie. Something to do with diarrhea. We need to work diarrhea into this. The Squire the day after enchiladas or something like that. Something to do with a horrifying diarrhea based scene.
Yeah, The Squire in Mexico.
we're getting foreign films now. Nice. All right. Well, there is blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the antenna situation, by the way. So I did look into this because I was like, what the heck? What is this? This does look like some giant antenna array underneath the ocean. The answer is, of course, just the fact that satellites fly in weird patterns over the earth and take high resolution images of some sections of the ocean. So it looks like an antenna array, but all it is the high resolution images of the waves on top of the general blurry image, like low resolution images of the ocean. So, and you see it all across the ocean as well. Like if you just zoom into the ocean in various different parts of Google Maps, you'll see it all across the ocean, basically, where the satellites fly over the ocean and take high resolution images. You can see that same pattern in a lot of different places. So unless these antenna placed massively across the ocean in this enormous construction effort, I think the more likely answer is just that it's high resolution images.
Well, that sucks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jackson, as always.
We're a show about the truth,
didn't you?
And the truth sucks, I'm afraid.
This sucks. I thought that this show was a show about lies.
No, you're the lie man. You come in and hit me with some lies then. I've got to dish out the truth, unfortunately.
Why?
It's like good cop, bad cop.
I don't know why you have to do that. You've really dampened the entire show with this obvious answer nonsense.
As for the possible military involvement, it's not out of the realm of possibility, as the unique, isolated nature of the area lends itself extraordinarily well to these types of programs. On top of that, there is precedent for this occurring, such as the Vela incident in 1979, when an American satellite registered an unexplained double flash while in the area. Could this have been communication from the island? This observation was believed to have stemmed from an undeclared joint nuclear test carried out by South Africa and Israel. However, in terms of vetted evidence that withstands logical scrutiny, there is little to suggest that these particular theories hold much weight. But I mean, I could see a world where they do choose these remote locations to still test military weapons, because of course you would choose somewhere remote, right? Like as remote as you could possibly get to test highly advanced weapons, right?
Yeah,
there's no one there,
so it remains a secret.
Yeah, so that could be a logical answer as to why certain oddities exist in the area. Maybe they're testing new weapons down there, or maybe the aliens are. One of the most interesting theories is that the blob behaves in a manner or pattern not dissimilar to ferrofluid, a liquid that responds to magnetic force in a blob-like capacity. A TikTok/YouTuber going by Glam Ham Radio made this connection in her coverage, tying it to the interesting note. Don't laugh at that. Glam Ham, she's great. She does great content. I watched a lot of her videos. They were very good. So if you're listening to Glam Ham Radio, you do great coverage.
Very serious name, Glam Ham Radio. Let's see.
She mostly does videos on ham radio, so it makes sense. It's a good name.
Really?
I rate it highly. Yeah.
Who the hell, does ham radio even exist anymore? It seems like such a contradiction to be talking about ham radio on TikTok. What's the point of ham radio now? Well, I suppose all these answers and more are answered on Glam Ham Radio, I'm assuming.
Yeah, go check her out. She'll answer that in one of her videos about conspiracies, which is mostly what she does now, it seems. So
now, this is such a thing for you to be into, Jackson.
Glam Ham Radio? I mean, just ham radio? I don't know anything about ham radio. I don't even know what it is. What is ham radio? It's like old radio, right?
You're just playing dumb now. You've obviously watched every single TikTok here and just pawning it off. I don't know anything about it. Nothing.
I've never met this person in my life.
Ham radio?
What's a radio?
What's a radio? What's a radio? What's ham? I don't know either of these things.
But seriously, what is ham radio? Is it just radios that are old? Is it the ones that truckers use?
Yeah, I assume that it's that one. It's what you use in between having a pen pal and MSN existing. That's what I thought.
So it's like what lonely truckers use to communicate with each other on those dusty roads.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's not MSN. It's what's that thing that you've got like a 90% chance of someone flashing their penis at you? Not Red Thread, the podcast.
Omegle.
You also have that 90% chance there. But what's it called? Omegle. That's the one.
Omegle.
The original Red Thread. Yes.
Why do we have the reputation of flashing our penises? Is that what you're doing right now?
No, I'm just saying that there's a 90% chance, and we hope to be doing thousands of these episodes, and that's why you haven't seen one getting flashed yet, but you will, and there'll be a lot of them. It's 90% of episodes. Yeah, we're working
up the confidence. We're working at the logistics.
Yeah, we don't want to reveal our very teeny, small, shriveled penises and get laughed at just yet.
We're doing our penis workouts to make sure that they're in prime flashing position. No, I think I've hit my growth limit, I'm afraid. So anyway, tying it to the interesting note that Bouvet Island was formed from a volcano that sits itself near the convergence of three tectonic plates, those being the South American plate, the African plate, and the Antarctic plate. So it sits like almost bang in the middle of those three plates converging.
That's very cool. This place is great. I really do want to invade this island.
It would be a great strategic point for us to make our little military base out there, you and I, isolated
Yes.
from everyone else.
An isolated
wage
island
war.
with no resources, very distant from everywhere else, and prone to a lot of earthquakes.
Plus, may or may not be sentient too. But there's a giant antenna nearby, as I've learned, so we'll at least get our ham radio signal completely fine. So we'll
that
be
is
able
the
to
only reason that you want to
flashing
invade
even
that
from
place,
Bouvet
isn't
Island. Yeah. Glam Ham Radio posited the idea that perhaps some sort of iron-rich solution was leaking up from the rifts in the plates and creating the magnetic anomaly that the model was being influenced by. It's an interesting theory. Volcanoes and plate rifts do leak hot fluids that can carry iron after all, but that iron usually just forms local mineral deposits, not big magnetic anomalies. Most magnetic anomalies come from large bodies of solid rock that already contain magnetic minerals, not from fluid moving through its cracks. We're getting a lot of sexual imagery in this episode.
What, the word cracks?
Yeah. And fluids moving through cracks. Large cracks.
Fluids moving through cracks.
Yeah. And glam ham. That's going to be a metaphor for something.
You're listening to Oxford Street FM. We are discussing. All right. Yeah. The late night, crack of dawn.
Yeah, red thread after dark right now.
Sign up to the membership. That's where you see a lot of flashing penises.
That's all we do over there. We upload once every hour.
Yeah.
The 11 p.m. flashing. The 12 p.m. flashing. The 1 p.m. flashing.
And it is just a flash. It's really literally just a second of footage.
Yeah, that's all I can afford.
On my squire's salary.
Regardless of the cause of the anomaly, however, it does seem like the overall premise of it being magnetic does fit the bill the best out of the current theories surrounding this event. So much so that it's not entirely shocking to learn that there is already a different scientifically researched anomaly present in the area that involves magnetism. That is the South Atlantic anomaly. So, discovered in the late 1950s, the South Atlantic anomaly is a region over the South Atlantic where the Earth's magnetic field is unusually weak. The inner Van Allen radiation belt dips unusually close to Earth's surface, so satellites and spacecraft in low Earth orbit passing through the area are exposed to enhanced fluxes of energetic or ionizing particles. Basically, to sum it up for the people that don't know what any of that meant, including myself, the Earth's magnetic field generally acts like a gigantic shield, like a squire would hold, that protects the flat planet, or its lord, from radiation in space. Which I guess in this metaphor would be arrows from an opposing force, I guess.
Radioactive arrows. Fuck me.
From space.
Oh, it's pretty epic.
That's a pretty good metaphor. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But in this region, roughly off the coast of South America, the shield is thinner and weaker, and because of this, a layer of charged particles come closer to Earth here than anywhere else. For those wondering why that might be, well, it's because Earth's magnetic field isn't perfectly centered or balanced. If you think of the Earth's magnetic field like a protective bubble that wraps around the planet, imagine if that material that made up the bubble wasn't stretched evenly. You wouldn't have an even shape surrounding the globe. In some places, that material would be dented and thinner as it stretched. Scientists believe that this imbalance exists because of the magnet inside the Earth that generates the field, that being the enormous amount of molten metal inside the core, isn't itself perfectly lined up, centered, or otherwise evenly distributed. It's a bit crooked, which makes one side of the magnetic bubble around the Earth thinner than the rest. The simplest reason why scientists believe that these magnetic fields don't behave evenly around the planet, that is to say that when they measure it, they notice that the poles drift with time, the field strength changes unevenly, and some areas are much weaker, is because that they believe that the liquid metal inside the Earth's core itself moves unevenly, and it moves hotter, denser, or faster in some places of the core than in others. That unbalanced motion then makes the magnetic field lopsided, and if you're now wondering why the core itself is uneven, scientists also have an answer for that, because of course they do. Basically, the mantle of the Earth, do you know what the mantle is, Jordan?
No.
You don't know the different layers of the Earth?
I think I might have learned them in year 4 and forgotten them.
Yeah, come on. This is like year 4 stuff. You got the
year 4
crust,
stuff.
you got the outer mantle, you got the inner mantle, and then you got the core, right? Isn't that it?
Yeah, in my mind, it's crust and core. Everything else is air in between. But the more you know.
That's where the civilizations live, the underground civilization.
I was so dumb as a kid. For whatever reason, someone said that you had to dig. I don't know how. I can't even explain how I used to think that the Earth worked, but I think that I thought that there was a layer of rock around the globe that resembled all the countries and all the ocean, and you had to dig into that crust to get into the Earth. So it's kind of like a gumball. I don't know what I was talking about as a kid.
Like a Fabergé
That's what I thought
egg?
for a long time. I don't even know how Fabergé eggs work. But I'm okay, sure. No, you know what it was like? It was like a Kinder Surprise. That's what it was.
I was gonna say like those the what are they called? The babushka dolls or whatever they're called? Those Russian
babushka.
nesting dolls.
Yeah. Instead of opening it up, though, you drilled a hole into it, and that's how astronauts entered in and out. I thought that they were more or less NBN rollouts. I think that's how I thought that the planet worked for a long time. So anyway, that's
how
why
the planet works.
Well, remains to be seen. I have been laughed at it before in the past, but I still suspect that I'm right. But yeah, okay. So all right, yeah, mantle. There we go.
Yeah,
so mantle is the thing that you dig into. That's what that actually looks like.
Yeah, it's the top of your egg that you're talking about, I guess.
No, the crust is the top of the egg.
The crust is the top. The mantle is
stupid.
Yeah. The mantle is like the dirt underneath, well, the rock and dirt and sedimentary underneath that crust, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of it. The mantle's massive.
Well, I'm looking at a planet getting cut in half at the moment, and it really looks like a double stuffed crust from Pizza Hut, doesn't it?
Oh, yum. I'm going to look at actually what is the mantle.
Yum. Of course you love that.
What, you don't?
No, dude. I'm not a psycho.
Wait, what did you say? What are we talking about?
You like those things that Pizza Hut comes out every now and then with like, yeah, can you from Pizza Hut? A shoe inside the crust. You just eat around it and kick
I thought you were talking
about
I thought you were talking about the cheesy crust, like the original, just the one with cheese stuffed in it.
I think they started with that and ended with,
good.
Not the cheesy crust.
You don't like the cheesy crust?
Oh, crazy cheesy crust is different to cheesy crust. So do you order that when you know how you've got the thin and crispy range, you've got the original, you've got thick, and then you've got cheesy crust. You get the cheesy crust.
No, I'll usually get thin and crispy, to be honest, but I don't mind.
Thin and crispy is the way to go. Everybody else is a psycho in my books. Something wrong with everyone that doesn't get thin and crispy.
No, thin and crispy is the best, yes. But cheesy crust is fine. Like, I'll enjoy it if I have it. Here's my controversial pizza opinion. Frozen pizza beats wood-fired pizza.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It feels weird. It feels wrong even saying that. Like, I should be bullying myself for saying that. But
welfare recipient opinion. You cannot think that. That's something that someone says to cope with the fact that they can't afford wood-fired pizza. It's better anyway.
It is Squire opinion. I'll give you that.
Squire opinion.
But I prefer the taste. I don't know why. Maybe it is because that's what I was raised on.
That is
we couldn't afford fire.
Bogan. Americans, come on. That is what you expect to hear from someone that lives in a trailer park, right? You cannot seriously think this.
I do. I earnestly do believe that. I will probably choose even like a Pizza Hut one over a traditional restaurant wood-fired pizza.
Oh, well, that's go without saying. There's nothing controversial about that. Now that I think about it, I've got bogan opinions on pizza too. I honestly think Domino's and Pizza Hut is better than all the other pizzas. Every other pizza I've ever had in my life, I think, wish it was Domino's. I miss the crapness.
Why are you arguing against me then? We have the same opinion.
No, we don't. You want frozen. I want it freshly made in Domino's.
Well, yeah. Okay. In the hierarchy of pizza, in my opinion, it goes, wait. Pizza
you
Hut?
Want McCain cheese and bacon. That's fucked,
just
Jackson.
Just wait.
No, you've had
Pizza
your chance.
Hut,
Yeah.
Domino's, maybe Sizzler, and then
Sizzler?
frozen pizzas of any kind, and then
You can't claim Sizzler, can you?
yeah, and then I guess I'll do wood-fired pizza. I'll put it
Wood-fired
down
pizza at the
there.
bottom.
Yeah.
All right, I think that is probably the exact opposite of everyone else on planet Earth. Nonetheless, I am inclined to believe it. Now, I'm not putting frozen pizzas. It's not even a pizza at that point.
We're going to get shit. Oh, you know what I also like? Those the frozen Hot Pockets. I used to love those.
The ones you buy at the canteen.
Yeah, you used to get them at like the school tuck shop and shit like that. But you can get them at like Woolies and stuff. They're just like frozen little pizza pockets full of like ham and cheese and shit. Oh, they were so good.
Man,
but you could also
this
feel
is really
like
freaking me out that you're
insides.
Exactly, yeah. I can't believe that you're an expert on the frozen aisle at Coles. It's you and Doomsday
I do come from
preppers.
a working class family, so it's not all too surprising. Sorry, we don't all live in a lord's mansion, Jordan.
Lording it over you with pizza from Sven's. No, look, I don't know. I think that it might be the same. This is really scary to think about because I'm trying to put my finger on why I like Domino's more than pizza that is objectively better. And I think it's because...
It's not objectively better. That's just what big Italian restaurants want you to believe so that they can charge more.
You think this is pizza propaganda?
This is pizza propaganda. I think Domino's and Pizza Hut have perfected pizza and Italians just won't stand for it.
Well, let's be honest. Domino's has really stepped it up. Remember when they did that advertising campaign of their CEO coming out and saying, "We've heard all of your feedback and we've realised that our pizzas are shit. Sorry about that. We'll do better in the future. And they'll be cheaper somehow." And he was right about both. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that, but I believe
he came out, publicly apologised for how bad their pizzas are. And then they got way better.
Was it the American company or the Australian one?
It was the Australian one.
Okay. Well, they are good. I'll give them that. He did earn that.
He really earned it. And then I think ever since then, he's been way better than Pizza Hut.
Yeah. I think I do prefer Domino's as well, probably.
These days.
Because Domino's has the lava cakes as well, which I really like.
Lava cakes at Domino's. I'm scared to look.
No, they're good.
It's going to be that island.
They're the gooey, ooey lava chocolate stuff.
Yeah, you're one of those, are you?
What do you keep saying that? Every opinion I have right now is you're one of those.
You're one of those. One of those. Because, I don't know.
It reminds me of the chamber pot.
It does look like a chamber pot. It's a chamber pot.
It's a very ooey.
You're that guy in Close Encounters of the Third Kind playing with the mashed potato, and everyone's looking scared at you as you fashion out a chamber pot in your food. Look at this.
All right, back to the episode. Basically, the mantle of the Earth isn't the same thickness or temperature everywhere due to the chaotic nature of the planet's composition. You can think of the Earth as a giant chamber pot. The uneven movement of the insides of the chamber pot creates stronger convection currents in the core, which stirs and churns the metal around unevenly. So, like, yeah, if you imagine the Earth as a chamber pot, this actually is a pretty apt metaphor. If one side of the core is hotter, the bubbles and swirls don't form evenly because the mantle itself isn't even across the diameter of the globe. And so the result is that these uneven movements in the core generate and distort the Earth's magnetic field. Now that we know what the South Atlantic anomaly is and how it is rooted in well-researched and evidence-backed science, let's also take a look at its behavior and effects. First of all, it's important to note that the South Atlantic anomaly isn't static. There we go, it is moving. We were right, it is sentient. Its shapes, strength, and location change over time.
Wow.
Since the late 1950s, its southern boundary has been relatively stable, while the region has expanded northwards, eastwards, and towards the northeast. That's right, it's growing, and it hungers more and more each year. The center or region of weakest field is gradually drifting westward, and more recently, it appears to be splitting into two lobes. their breeding as well, particularly in the region of southwestern Africa. As we've just discussed, this all seems logical given that we've talked in detail about how scientists believe the anomaly forms from moving liquid metal inside the core of the planet. As for the effects that this anomaly has, well, for spacecraft and satellites in low Earth orbit, passing through the SAA means temporary exposure to higher radiation doses. As we put it before, it's like they're being hit by these arrows, which can cause bit flips, transient malfunctions, damage to electronics, and importantly, increased background noise in detectors due to this increased exposure. This damage and increased noise is so prevalent in the area that most operations passing through the area take active precautions. For example, the Hubble Space Telescope avoids UV observations in the area, so they actually turn off the telescope, that part of the telescope, to protect the sensitive equipment inside. The SAA is believed to have been the cause of the destruction of the Hitomi, which was Japan's most powerful X-ray observatory. Investigators at the destruction of the Hitomi believe that its passing through the anomaly likely disabled the direction-finding mechanism, which caused the satellite to spin out of control, which would have been very cool to watch. This is all to say that technology does not seem to play nice at high altitude in the SAA due to the increased exposure to radiated particles. As we know, the blob shown in Ventusky, I want to keep saying Ventusky. It looks like the word is Ventusky, but I'm pretty sure it's Ventusky because it's got to do with like weather detection and shit like that.
So do I. I think you're right.
That's sky.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it Ventusky from now on because it sounds cooler.
Yeah, it does sound like a Hollywood director. Go on.
The blob shown in Ventusky was a visual representation of wave height. The blob itself showed waves exceeding in height of 26 meters, waves that didn't truly exist. That's what the coloration or shape of the blob on the instrumentation meant, as well as the symbols of waves being sent out from the island. Ventusky's claim that the visual error was caused by computer model output errors makes complete sense. They don't measure the waves themselves. They're not out there in a little rowboat with a little measuring stick or anything like that. They're not using the old tried and true methods of, using measuring tape to measure waves. They instead infer wave height mostly from buoys, from buoys, wind data, and you guessed it, satellite radar altimeters. The output is created from the model's math, and as we all know, math sucks. And so math generated by satellites passing through the SAA, it's perfectly logical to assume that the model could be generating its math based off faulty input from an instrument affected by the anomaly. All it takes is for the model to ingest a few bad or corrupted data points, showing extreme values, for this to then propagate the anomaly, which in this form is a giant blob of enormous waves. However, this all sounds pretty logical. But in addition to the original blob Ventusky pictures, several more pictures were shown by Glamham Radio portraying odd weather patterns surrounding Bouvet Island across several years. These pictures, taken from CIA instrumentation, all portrayed similar cloud patterns and aberrations seemingly coming from Bouvet Island itself, with the insinuation being that they were at least possibly connected to the blob phenomena. While these images are striking, the answer to these incredible shapes, however, is rather mundane, which is always exciting. Do you see the photos here, though?
Yeah.
Pretty
cool, What do you think about those? Oh, just as they look cool?
Yeah.
Man, that April 7, 2024, you guys tell me.
It's Bouvet Island is generating hurricanes. It's sending out hurricanes to batter the coast of Africa. It's pretty cool.
Take that, Africa.
Yeah.
Nah, it's harps on it. I don't care about all of these scientific explanations. How can it be making all of those hurricanes? Look at it go.
Science can't explain that. And here comes a paragraph where science explains
exactly that. Go on. Take your best shot. I'll figure a way to dismiss it.
The island's elevation sits at 780 meters or 2,560 feet, which is roughly, I want to say, 440 times Jordan's height, which is high enough to interrupt the prevailing wind's path. Anything over about 500 meters above sea level can start to disrupt the prevailing winds, and over a distance of 1 kilometer, the effects become very obvious and visible in satellite imagery. That's what we're seeing here, and it also explains why there are several different images of these explained patterns, or these patterns spreading out across various directions from the island as they're generated by the wind being disrupted by the landmass. And of course, wind direction is known to change sometimes.
Is it? I don't know. That's what they claim.
Yeah, the wind. Yeah, that's what scientists claim. The wind actually only ever blows in one direction.
That's what I learned at school.
Yeah, that means if we sail to Bouvet Island, we're probably gonna have to go the long way. Whichever way the wind blows, we're going to have to go the long way probably, right? Across the Pacific.
Why, is it going to be blowing in exactly our opposite direction? Look, I don't know which way it permanently blows. But, well, look, that's an indisputable fact. And I assume that any time it ever changes, it's because of HAARP. Go on.
Considering the island sits to the west of us, if the wind is constantly blowing north, we're going to be in trouble. I don't think we'll ever get there. We'll just constantly go up and around the globe. Hoping
Not with
one
that
day.
Attitude. Hoping one day we get there?
Yeah, I guess.
Man, what are we? Like lost souls at sea?
Yeah, only our 4 hands and a chamber pot between us.
What a grim existence, honestly. I always thought about that. Being a ghost in Pirates of the Caribbean. Call me a landlubber, but these legs weren't made for the ocean. I'd much rather be a ghost that's eternally thirsty on land than at the sea. Seems like you'd be way more thirsty.
Do ghosts thirst? Is that a thing?
Didn't they in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Did they? I don't remember in Pirates of the Caribbean. What was their entire thing in Pirates of the Caribbean? I thought they just
can't
only
eat or
into
drink. Do they keep
nighttime.
getting hungry and?
Oh, is that a thing? Okay.
I can't remember anymore. The point is that would suck.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I agreed. But although, yeah, no, you're right. At least so if I'm
think
on
about
land,
it, Jackson. You'd never be able to have another microwave pizza again. Or you could.
Well, then I would
My reason for living.
In that case, I'd rather be on the ship because at least, I don't know, there's no microwaves there to tempt me. If I'm on land,
to
I'll
remind
just
you of it,
hang around Domino's. Yeah.
Yeah, but it might be the same thing as being
Domino's.
out at the ocean for so long and there being no women, and so you end up having sex with manatees or something. Maybe you start doing the same thing with pizzas.
Start having sex with pizzas as a ghost?
But there's no pizzas to have sex with. You have to have sex with something that looks like a pizza, which is it's probably Bouvet Island. You'll probably have sex with Bouvet Island, and because it is sentient, it'll be like, that was wonderful.
No one's ever touched
right in
me
the
that
volcano hole.
I'm adding my own crust.
Far out. Your cock would melt off. Still
yeah, I
worth
know.
it.
I'm a ghost. It wouldn't. It'd be fine. It'd feel great.
Okay, I didn't know that's how ghosts worked either.
As for some of the most interesting swelling patterns that have been shown, where it appears as though there are mini hurricanes being sent out from Bouvet Island, well, vortex shedding explains this phenomenon. The best way to think about vortex shedding is like this. When wind hits a pole, it can't go straight through, so it splits, and the air spins and peels off each side, one after the other in a left-right manner, making little whirlpools or vortices that trail behind. That's how vortices are made. These pictures, while looking at
that is a good explanation.
Awesome. These pictures, while looking extremely cool, are not uncommon when looking at clouds from satellite imagery. So stop bringing it up. So there we have it. The blob unfortunately likely has an answer, and it doesn't necessarily even involve Bouvet Island. It involves magnets, faulty equipment, and wind. But speaking of Bouvet Island, perhaps there is more to the island than previously considered. That's what people noticed when they started to dig deeper into this mysterious island owned by Norway and unmarked on Google Maps. We come to Chapter 4, The Uninhabitable Art Studio. Do you want to read this one for a bit?
I can. I'd also like to add
if you want.
that
if
this
you can
episode
read
is a lot like Science Court without the animation.
What's Science Court?
Science Court is a great show. Go look it up. I'm sure that it's for free on YouTube, like most of those educational shows that you assume are made in Canada.
This is from the 90s, damn.
Yeah, from the 90s on after Saturday Disney. You know how there was always that layer of cartoons that was designed to trick kids that was staying home pretending to be sick?
Yeah.
There was always the first layer of cartoons in the morning to try and get you up and go to school. And then if you stayed too long, they were like, I know exactly who you are. You're going to learn today. And you'd be like, no. Anyway, Science Court was one of those.
For people that might not by a different name, it was retitled Squiggle Vision in 1998. So
really,
you want to use the correct name. It's currently Squiggle Vision. And it also had H. John Benjamin in it, the voice of Archer. So, among other things, like Bob Belcher and Bob's Burgers.
I'm pretty sure that man is eternal, right? Like that, he's not going to die, is he?
No, he's been doing stuff for like 30 years.
And he's never changed. Yeah, and obviously the same guy that did... No, Squiggle Vision is a different show. Stop lying, Jackson.
It
not.
Is. Did you say
no,
Science
you're a horrible
Court?
person. Yeah, Science Court.
I'm on it right now. It says Science Court retitled Squiggle Vision in 1998.
Well, Wikipedia's lying. That's not the Squiggle Vision I remember. I have a photographic memory. Look, now that we bring this up, I just have to brag about this. I think that everybody in Red Thread would think it's remiss of me to leave this in the recesses of my mind. Jackson, did you know that my girlfriend met the voice of Ash Ketchum?
No. It's a woman, right?
It's a woman. That is the coolest job on earth. I honestly think that I would be more impressed meeting the person that goes, Pika, Pika, than I would meeting an astronaut. Much more impressed. Much better skill.
I was going to say it's such a cruisy job. You just have to say the same things, but I'm sure she's like massively talented.
Well, I then went on and obsessively watched her doing it. It seems horrible. It's not made for English. You have to try and make all these really abnormal sentences fit into little flap mouths going up, and it's really difficult. Looks like a horrible job.
I'm fucking stupid. I don't know why. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm going senile or something. I thought you were talking about the voice actress of Pikachu, or does she also do that?
I'm imagining she probably... Look, I can imagine that they are trying to cost cut that show to the bone. I bet you she probably does everything.
Yeah, it's Pokemon in general.
Pokemon in general. They're not going to hire a different voice actor for every Pokemon.
Well, they don't even have voice actors in the video games. Like they do.
Yeah, they have some stupid bit sound, don't they? Going like...
Yeah. They're like literally, it's the video game franchise that makes the most money out of everything, and they don't even bother paying for voice actors for like the dialogue in the games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, why is Pokemon so cheap?
I don't know. Well, I mean, what we do know, it's because they don't have to spend any money. They immediately make billions of dollars every time they put out a game. Like, what's the point of paying more money at that point? People are gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah. You know what else is brutal? They're getting rid of Ash Ketchum.
They got rid of her?
I think she's going to hang around, but she's going to be more of that ensemble cast as opposed to the main show from now on. I can't imagine Pokemon without Ash Ketchum. Then again, I haven't watched a single episode since season 1.
So I can't imagine Pokemon in general. I don't know what
not
it
at all. Don't know 90% of them. Chapter 4, The Uninhabitable Art Studio. In the ensuing investigation into Bouvet Island, people discovered that on the most uninhabitable island on Earth, there apparently exists an art studio named the Ministry of Humanity. That can't be right. When you look... No.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the internet not saying what I think automatically. When you look up the name, it doesn't automatically tie into Bouvet Island, but if you scroll past some Helldivers fandom wiki articles, you'll find something interesting. Their website and YouTube channel, that is interesting. The website is strange and unnerving.
Websites and YouTube channels don't usually exist. What's happening? This is another blob situation. Only science can save us.
or IT. The website is strange and unnerving. A fully white background with a black square in the middle with another off-center white square and a sideways H with a small media player underneath. I'm looking at the design now.
Yeah, go have a look.
It is unnerving.
When you press play, a 7-second audio plays, a few game-style beeps, and possibly a cassette tape and buzzing sound is heard. So go to the website, Ministry of Humanity. I'm going to it now. I want to listen to this.
Me too.
Live.
I'm listening to that.
Here we go. I'm listening.
This is very cool.
I feel like I've just loaded a cassette tape full of humanity. I am now a human.
Me too. I feel like I've been printed out of a fax machine.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I don't mind it. Yeah. 3D
nice
fax
noises.
machines.
I don't know. There was nothing nefarious or unnerving about that to me. That just sounded like my childhood, kind of.
The sounds did. The picture is very unnerving. An H on its side. Is it dead?
Get up, H.
Although, come on.
It kind of reminds me of...
You've got so many words that we need you for. Huh?
Well, how do we know it's an H and not an I?
I don't know. That's an eye that's gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's got a lot of width on that eye.
What a fat eye.
Yeah. It's like the eye in Pixar that's been squashed down by the lamp.
It could be that.
It's that guy. He's back.
Bear. It's that. Yeah, okay. It's the squished down eye. Yep. No longer an H. Whoever said that was very silly. This is freaking me out, Jackson.
Continue on.
Okay. The other thing the website shows is an email. Email at ministryofhumanity.com. Wow, they're pretty easy to access, this secret organization. As well as cookies notice. Okay. So it also doubles down as a porn site for data, it seems. The YouTube the YouTube channel is also just a strange and holds 10 videos from 2 years ago until just 6 months ago, the April of 2025, all around 2 minutes or less in length and all featuring unexplainable and strange artistic and experimental visuals. The first video is set at a cliff by an ocean featuring a child standing in different air. Holy fuck, it's The Ring. Staring at into distance. The most recent video is narrated explaining a proposed new ranking system that should replace concepts like star ratings for when ranking things like artwork, ideas, and individual people. This organization that's secretive and controls the world doesn't seem to have much money. The video opens up with the narrator saying, global control on a budget. You'd love that, wouldn't you, Jackson, you cheap cunt?
Yeah, I bet the catering is Domino's.
Every time.
Please. I'll bring my own microwave. Just let me stay. Just let me eat pizza.
Welcome to
this new world order.
Yeah. Look, if the New World Order is all you can eat Domino's, I don't think many are going to say no to that.
My idea of new world order is just me placing an order at Domino's for a pizza.
Fuck, such low ambition. It's not bad.
No, it's pretty ambitious.
You really, as world leader, that's pretty good.
I would mandate Domino's.
For yourself? Or every child has to eat Domino's all the time.
I would make it the national diet. You know how like Japan has like Japanese food. Other places have their own, cuisines. Mine would be Domino's specifically.
Domino's does seem to be Australia's cuisine anyway.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Nah. Macca's would still outpace it by a mile.
I don't know what our cuisine is. It's such a mishmash.
If cuisine goes to what said country eats the most, it has to be either the Colonel or McDonald's. You reckon they eat more steak than that? Food.
Yeah, I think steak in terms of identity for the country.
Okay, so it's based on what is. Yeah, okay. No, wait, what am I talking about? It's Weet-Bix.
Yeah. Weet-Bix in the morning, steak at night. That's it. And pizza, Domino's for lunch, I guess. That's your
So
three
many
main meals in
vegetables.
Australia. It's pretty good. I'll take that. I'll eat it.
You would, yeah. That is your ultimate day. That would be the day before Jackson gets executed for his crimes of not cleaning
That's
out
what
the
I would
chamber pot
choose.
sufficiently. That's what you'd have. It's always
My
the same. When
last
every time you
meal.
ever look at somebody's last meal, you always think, "What Skittles? That's it."
No, well, don't they order like there's so many people that just like order KFC for their last meal, and I find that really sad because you
It
can't
is
trust
sad.
KFC. Like that's just going to be cold.
Yeah. As my dumb friend's brother says, KFC, don't you think this sums that place up so well? KFC is all about the chef. It's
As in there is no
simultaneously the
chef.
stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life and the wisest. He's right. For whatever reason, it really seems to matter about the teenager deep frying the chicken, how long they're putting it in there, how many times they've dropped it on the ground and stepped on it before putting it in the fryer. These are all very important points. It's really strange. Like every McDonald's that I've ever had across Australia tastes exactly the same. I cannot say the same about KFC.
That is a good point, actually. Yeah, KFC, there is so much variation in how it eventually comes out and tastes.
Isn't it odd?
I just factored it down to like how drunk I am. When I'm drunk, all fast food tastes fucking phenomenal. It doesn't matter how it's cooked or anything. Like it is such a drunk person food.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I always just put it down to that.
I hate it when I know that I'm eating like a cow, even though I'm that hammered. That's a horrible feeling. You know, you kind of your mouth is open and there's just bits falling out. And you're like, I don't care. You probably just eat the bits again. Like, it is like a cow. You're digesting it 4 times over.
Yes.
Welcome to the Ministry of Humanity Orientation Series. This is your orientation to the 21st system.
21 system. We should watch these videos real quick. So we'll watch the first video.
Okay.
It's the one with a small child, Ministry of Humanity 001. Let's have a look at this.
Yep, terrifying. Terrifying.
Can you hear it?
Yes. So scary.
It's well shot.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're getting the call 7 days, aren't we? I don't want to see this.
No, I don't like how that was stabilized. She's stuck on this island. Get her out of there.
She can't hear you, Jackson. She's in another realm.
Run! Run!
Stop yelling at her.
There's a
She
weird
can't
man
hear
with a
you,
camera.
dumbass.
What could it mean?
All right, come on. This is scarier than The Conjuring, right? Look at that. Why are they showing that?
What a pervert.
All right, well, I've got to say, you really did ruin the ambience of that, Jackson, but nonetheless, I'm still very scared.
You're scared?
Aren't you?
No. But
how is that not watching the Ring video? Norway
the most
edition.
recent video. We need to watch the most recent video.
Oh, there's more, is there?
Yeah, ready?
Welcome to the Ministry of Humanity Orientation Series. This is your orientation to the 21 system. The 21 system is a formal method for scoring works of art, ideas, individuals, and abstractions. It replaces outdated systems such as 5 stars, out of 10, or thumbs. Thumbs are no longer recognized.
Oh no.
But I love
Scores
thumbs.
range from 0 to 21. 20 is perfection. You may only issue one in your entire
I've only
life.
got 120.
Choose carefully.
Alright, I give it to Red Thread.
21
Yeah, that was
is
pretty easy.
not perfection. It is something else.
Aww.
It exists between 0 and 20. It may be awarded freely. Interpretation is not required. Verbal analysis is prohibited.
Okay, they just had
The
Frenchy
number will be
appear on camera.
interpreted on your behalf. Please refrain from commentary. The score will suffice.
Please don't tell me my art house
0
film is
is
shit.
utter dog shit. Or possibly genius disguised as failure. The system does not distinguish. That's your job. All other scores behave as expected. You are permitted 1 20 per category, as many 21s as necessary, and as many zeros as you feel you can live with.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that they gave us the rules.
Yeah, that's nice of them. It's also, it just kind of screams like a person who made a film, put it on the circuit, and it got like all 2s out of 10s. And so they built up a grudge against the rating systems that most people use. So now they've made their own system.
That is a very good theory, Jackson. I like that a lot. I still think that it's some sort of... I think it's some sort of secret society that is very formal, especially seeing as they use the ranking system good to dog shit, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly, yeah, very serious people.
Very serious organization. They do freak
20
me
is
out, though.
holy. We only get 120 permitted per person per life. So don't waste your 20.
And 21 is anything you want.
Yeah, it basically just means that I don't care.
It means that I don't care. Well, thank you that you're here to interpret the rules for me. Honestly,
Well,
I feel like
it says
I'm playing
21
Monopoly
is
for the first time in your age.
supernumerary. It means that it resides in the space between the beginning and the end of a circle, which means that it could be anything. It's up for interpretation what 21 is. So I guess it means like it's anything. It can be anything, let's say. Whereas 0 and 20, the numbers between those two are very binary.
All right.
Like they have a set definition.
And so you've put down your 20 as...
Red thread.
You put it down as red thread?
Yep, I've used it already. What are you doing with your 20?
God, what am I going to do?
Oh, fuck. I thought of something better.
Probably Total Recall remake. What's yours?
Yeah. Well, I've already said it. I've only permitted 1.
No, you can take it back. I've changed the
can't.
rules.
I can't. I can't.
Oh,
I'll
now I'm
send
going to...
their
All right,
death
okay. Okay. Well, if you can't, what are you putting as wink, wink 19 then?
My 19 would have to be The Shawshank Redemption. It's my favorite movie of all time, so it's going
Perfect film.
Yeah. Well, close to perfect. It can't be perfect because Red Thread's taken its throne.
Look, I will say this. That episode that we did on Chris Chan, specifically the second part, better than Shawshank. You're right.
Yeah, that's going to be... That would be a 20 if there were...
His life
if
is better than the Shawshank Redemption. Just is.
Some of the videos are very strange, like 006, which comes with a warning for possibly being disturbing and only for people who are 18 plus.
Oh, we've got to watch that, please. I'm 18 plus.
All right, fine. We'll watch it. It's going to be flashing. It's going to be you flashing somehow. They got pictures of it.
Oh, they wouldn't have to look far for that.
All right, it's on. Ready? Oh, it's happy music, though. That's pretty artistic.
Okay. It's now saying, let's play it one more time. Let's not.
Oh.
Now we will
good.
play it 5 times slower. There was a little girl that dashed in between sound waves. Now they're playing it 5 times slower. It's hurting my ears.
It's
But the flash is the
subliminal.
same.
I'm being subliminally manipulated into
You don't like that, huh?
into changing my 20.
To this video.
I won't do it.
Ja, du, där fick vi till en riktig jävla fotografia!
I don't remember that in the sped up version.
Ja!
So scared.
I'm ready. Jump scare me. No. Lame.
Yeah, it did. It did jump scare. It had one of those
That did
color
jump scare.
palette tones at the end.
That wasn't scary.
Yes. I wasn't scared either. In that video. First shows a blend of mixing something undeniable but red. This is really creeping me out. It's House of Leaves, the YouTube channel.
Well, it's just pretentious wankery in my opinion, but let's continue. It first shows
Exactly,
a blender
House of Leaves, the YouTube channel.
mixing something unidentifiable but red, and then delves into an audio recording that was apparently recorded on February 5th, 2018. The audio has a strange whistle and the video keeps slowing it down. Play it again until a mare's voice appears, growling and then laughing menacingly. And at that point, Jordan shitted his pants. Video 002 talks about an idea, something that will make the speaker wealthy. The concept explained as being politics is art, with the idea that politics should be looked at artistically. There's also film 008, which shows different comments presumably left on their videos. These different comments read, quote, "Hi, for those who have eyes to see, the always beautiful and mysterious Gotland, land of petrified Viking ships. Thank you, Ministry of Humanity, for revering this misunderstood island in Sweden. This is lame art house BS." Hey, that comment was left by me. Those 3 idols are shrapnel shells. Be careful looking for meaning where there is none. The art of life is the game those people are playing. Interesting. Where is put up here? Is there a story to all of this? The song playing at the end is Deadmau5, Superliminal. Interesting clue near the end. EN60L ILIOS. I har vikelig funded deres sted I solen udind det. Note, this translates to, you have truly found your place in the sun. Take advantage of it. Another comment reads, I already did. Life is kabuki. Make wise use of your time. It may be far less than you expect. Okay, so a weird niche and artistic corner of the internet. But what does this have to do with the remote uninhabitable island? Well, nothing.
Right. What the hell was the point of all of that? You made Ministry of Humanity, didn't you, Jackson? Just to say that at the end. Far out. That was so well played.
The Ministry of Humanity is actually Jackson's self-made union for chamber pot workers. We're unionizing. We will take back the production of chamber pots for ourselves. Oh, good.
God, I've got to say, you could have expressed that more clearly. You know,
Which part?
All of it, I guess. I think that it's not well articulated what your demands are as a union.
We want more chamber pots.
I would imagine that is okay, but maybe just work on the messaging. That's all I'm saying.
We want more chamber pots to clean. I thought that was made evident by the voice clip of me screaming and growling menacingly. It's all pretty clear if you just
that you
read
have
between
to
the lines.
slow down 5 times to hear it and listen to it backwards in between a shot of a Norwegian girl jumping on a beach.
If you actually slow it down 10 times slower, you hear an actual essay dissertation, legal demands for more chamber pots. I'm asking for more. And gloves too. That would be nice.
far out. You are asking for so many things to work in your favor, Jackson. This poorly viewed YouTube channel, someone has to play it backwards and slow it down specifically 10 times to hear your demands.
Well, to be fair, like I know I'm making a lot of demands here. But you always want to start off making as many demands as you can because you're going to be worked down to the middle. So I am open to still using my bare hands.
Right, okay. You just want to know that. All right, you're shooting for the universe and aiming the moon, but really you're shooting into the ocean hoping to hit the moon. That's what's happening there.
Yeah, I'll take more chamber pods. As long as we get more chamber pods involved in this operation, then I'll take it. We'll settle for anything. In fact, let's just get back to work, guys. Strike over.
The worst union bargain negotiation practice in human history. This should be studied forever. Your entire site is art house, is like so oblique and like it's so difficult to decipher what your demerits are. It's esoteric art house, really strange. All of it's subliminal. What you want. And then immediately when it comes down to negotiation, you say, look, I'm getting rid of all of those things that you didn't want in the first place. Surprise. I'll pretty much go back to work.
I wanted to have a conversation. I was getting lonely in the chamber pot room.
It really must be lonely being in a one-man union. That's a very sad thought.
I mean, is that even possible? I think by definition...
I think you've done it. This is why it was so poorly articulated. You had no one to bounce back with.
I'm putting out the call to action right now in this episode of Red Thread. Hashtag rise up chamber pot workers. We will make demands that can be met. We will strike together.
Out of the sewers and into town hall.
Dumb. What are we doing?
We're learning, Jackson.
The Ministry of Humanity simply lists Bouvet Island as their location on their Google SEO. Labeled as an art studio, the supposed location is bang in the middle of Bouvet Island. There is also a message from the ministry on their Google business page that reads, quote, "The Ministry of Humanity, all humans eligible for ministerial positions. Please inquire."
Nice.
So on this island, made up almost entirely of glaciers and a small unmanned Norwegian weather station, also has an art studio, I mean. This has obviously piqued the interest of many online who heard about it. What actually is the Ministry of Humanity? Why do they list themselves as being on Bouvet Island? Where are they actually based? Time to do some digging. With their strange YouTube presence, short cryptic messages, and supposed location being literally nowhere, conspiracy theories surrounding the Ministry of Humanity, of course, arose. So before we try and do some of our own research into uncovering the true identity of the Ministry of Humanity, let's talk about what other people are saying. Some people think that the operation is a cult, that the organization is hiding and covering up something on Bouvet Island, and there are theories that suggest that this group is responsible for the previously discussed blob. A lot of these theories are born from the content on their YouTube channel and its use of symbolic, ritualistic, and stylized imagery and language. They are purposely aloof and ambiguous, allowing people to take the clips that they show and spin them into whatever narrative the person viewing it sees fit. Ambiguity is art, after all. They even speak of that idea in their video about ratings. They use a lot of remote and sparse scenery, including the ocean, which has been argued as a hint towards the island. It is remote, it is sparse, it is surrounded by the ocean after all. That's a pretty good connection. Some have gone through the videos and tried to decipher the meaning of all of the videos, like on video 008, a user named Kunoans shares his thoughts. Quote, "To all of those coming here from the Parapsych video, I have a few thoughts if you're interested. This seems to be intentionally replicating ARG or alternate reality game style YouTube channels. For example, the 001 video being a vague demonstration of the channel's vibe. Look at it as a demonstration of themes to come. A lot of ARGs do this. The 002 video is directly communicating to you. The voice of the man is probably taken out of context, but the maker put it in for a reason. They're trying to explain something. What is intentionally vague? Art as politics is sort of an encoded message, but sort of isn't. Think of the words and what they mean. Art is a demonstration. politics is reality. Whoever the speaker is tells us that we think as politics is a sort of performative show when it is in fact reality. So in the context of the video, politics equal reality, art equal demonstration. In other words, they claim they are demonstrating reality to you. But since you view politics as performative, you may not believe it. At the beginning of the video, the man says that we will all benefit from hearing this message. At the end, he says examples to follow. Every one of these videos is an example. Overall, it is extremely strange this project has attached itself to the island. It feels different, like it has an overall point, even if they attach themselves to the blob phenomenon for attention. I'd be curious to see if anyone could source the videos included. They all look similarly filmed, and at a glance, some of them look like they could actually have been filmed on the island, or at least on the little land masses around them. I doubt it, but this is well done. Be careful looking through comments. This caught the attention of some harebrained people that would distract you from actual reasoning. Bonus fact, the last shot in 007, Ilios makes a water source-based heat pump. Pretty disturbing implications there. What does that mean?
Don't know.
What is
God, I'd
Ilios?
like to know what that means.
Ilios, water-based what? Pump.
Water-based heat pump.
What the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what the disturbing insinuation is for that.
Me neither.
Let us know in the comments. Go to the comments if you're also curious about that, because I'm sure I'll pin the comment of whoever provides a compelling explanation for what that means.
And we'll assume that it's correct without further research. That's your grand prize.
Yeah. It seems that at one point there was an unusual statue depicted on the Ministry of Humanity's Google page, which some have claimed seems to depict a demon sacrificing a child. From what we can tell, this image no longer exists in connection with the Ministry of Humanity. Others have also said that the statue is actually related to Hinduism, specifically the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth, Kali. The child sacrifice has been linked back to the first video on the YouTube channel, which features a young girl standing or sitting around a remote island. The island is dry, dusty, and almost Mediterranean in the video, but this doesn't stop people from believing that the island depicted in the videos is in fact Bouvet Island, disregarding the fact that Bouvet Island is predominantly Arctic and glacial. In fact, it is entirely snow. However, the counter-argument is that not many people have actually been to Bouvet Island or seen it with their own eyes, and so the island could in fact be misrepresented by satellite imagery. People have also, so basically the government's lying to you, or the satellite companies are lying to you by portraying this place in the Arctic as being Arctic, and in fact it looks like it should be somewhere in Spain, or it looks like the environment should be, broadly Mediterranean. People have also noticed documentation listing Bouvet Island as an importer, with goods being imported to the island by Singapore, the United States, Panama, Indonesia, and Denmark. Importing aluminium structures, animal products, cement, air pumps, which is interesting after talking about the other thing, water-based heat pumps, and electrical transformers. Very mysterious and strange for an island with supposedly no infrastructure or people. The first thing that we personally looked into early into the research process was the Google preview description from the website of the Ministry of Humanity, which clearly reads, quote, "We are the ministers for humanity, adding to the world with art and film, providing solutions to problems with excellent planning, original ideation, and the use of mixed media, film, and video," end quote. This makes sense with the YouTube channel. They clearly work in film and media, and the most simple answer is that this entire thing started as an art project. A little more scrolling and the United Kingdom government website for company information can be found, where it appears that the Ministry of Humanity is actually based legally in the United Kingdom, not in Norway, which is the country that owns Bouvet Island. The nature of the business is listed as the nature of the business is listed as video production activities. So far, the shoe seems to fit, with the business incorporated in 2022, which aligns with the YouTube channel also being made in 2022. There are 3 people listed. Yeah, it was clearly a coincidence. The CIA involved, obviously. MI6.
Didn't need to be mentioned.
There are 3 people listed, one who resigned around 4 months after the business began, and 2 who are still directors of the business. They will remain unnamed, but suffice it to say, one lists themselves as a, quote, eco-stylist, end quote, and the other a, quote, film director.
Oh, that's so brutal. In quotation marks, film director.
Yeah. After some digging, I mean, eco-stylist is like also
that should always be in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Film directors should not.
After some digging, well, we just don't understand art. I think that's the issue. It probably is a real job. After some digging, we were able to find Instagram accounts of two of these people. As the project seems to be just that, an art project, we won't put their identities out there, but it does confirm that they are definitely part of the Ministry of Humanity and that this is their magnum opus. There is also an Instagram account that was made for the business, but it is small with less than 20 followers, and it seems to have never been used before. There is one post that the Instagram has been tagged in, which is a different film director's music promo reel for 2025, that they seem to have professionally helped with in some capacity. We don't know exactly the reasons why the Ministry of Humanity exists and the work that they do, but there is simply more evidence to suggest that the Ministry of Humanity is nothing more than an art studio that capitalized on trending news to create some buzz for their business while creating an experimental art house YouTube film series that demonstrated their filmmaking and buzz generating skills, which are both important for their business of collaborating with businesses, other businesses who may want to employ them for creation of advertisements or creative direction on, different projects. It does seem like they purposely nudge and provoke theories online, which obviously helps with their own PR. We have emailed the email available on their website and will update on the response if there is one. We have asked for comment, Jordan. I think this is the first, actually.
And so far we have not received.
Before.
Yeah. No. What are you? 60 minutes.
Yeah, what is this? We're getting too investigative here. This is too serious for me.
What a sentence to put in a Red Thread podcast. We have yet to receive comment.
We will come back once they do confirm or deny whether or not they are CIA affiliated.
Is that what you asked for comment on?
Yeah. Speaking of serious, though, we come to chapter 5, Millionaire Penguins. Continue. What was your theory before I cut you off?
No, it's your theory. It's hilarious that the first question that we ever asked for comment was you going in and being like, are you guys like CIA or something? You have until 5 p.m. to answer. Sorry, we're on a deadline here.
Yeah, we're going to print.
And they have yet to receive comment. I think we all know what that means.
Yeah.
No answer is always the loudest answer of all. Now, if you excuse me, Jackson, I need to go to the toilet.
Go to the toilet. I'll start talking about millionaire penguins. To our knowledge, no one lives on Bouvet Island. It is only inhabited by animals such as penguins, seals, and birds. However, according to data released by the Australian Tax Office, or the ATO, $2.5 million in Australian bank accounts belong to foreign tax residents that were apparently from Bouvet Island. On the ATO website, you can find the Australian CRS reportable accounts by jurisdiction data, where Bouvet Island is featured in 2018 and 2019, totaling some about $2.5 million owing in tax claims. The reports were investigated by the media, like the ABC, who reported that Bouvet wasn't the only uninhabited island to hold Australian accounts. There were even 20 accounts and $350,000 in Antarctica, which is pointed out by the ABC to not be a sovereign entity and should have no residence for tax purposes. The ATO responded with a few possibilities, explaining, quote, an account reported as belonging to Antarctica means the account is held by a financial institution in Australia, but the account holder has indicated that they are a tax resident in Antarctica, a spokesperson explained. Tax residency is not always the same as residency or citizenship. Account holders are required to self-assess their tax residency status when opening new accounts, end quote. They go on to explain that sometimes places like Antarctica are selected by mistake by customers or frontline employees. However, Bouvet doesn't hold any companies or anything besides a Norwegian weather station, and of course maybe a cult art studio from England on the island. Could it have just been errors, like Bouvet Island being selected in a drop-down box instead of Australia, or possibly some sort of deliberate fraudulent use of the island by countries because Bouvet doesn't have any financial regulatory structure? And this point actually brings us back to the export and imports listing for Bouvet Island. It's clear that these islands are used by shell corporations and wealthy individuals as nothing more than tax havens, and that and weather monitoring is likely the true current purpose of Bouvet Island, and nothing more. Well, that's it for Red Thread this week. We've answered in excruciating detail what Bouvet Island is, why it exists, what the Ministry of Humanity is, and why the blob exists. Unfortunately, we can kind of narrow all of this down to a publicity stunt on the hand of the Ministry of Humanity. I don't think that they're a cult. I don't think that they have nefarious purposes. I think that they are, in quotation marks, artists with a film project.
Oh, so harsh. Stop putting everything in quotation marks we're referring to them.
Fine. I give
These
it a
so-called
19.
humans, huh?
I give
giving them a 19?
Yeah, I'll give it a 19. Yeah. Well, I've used my fucking 20.
Barring the fact that you've used all your 20s, that's as high as you can get.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job, Ministry of Humanity. So regardless, Ministry of Humanity, I don't think they're nefarious or evil or anything like that. They're good at publicity. They latched onto the blob, and of course the blob is nothing more than satellites fucking up. So that's it.
That's Red Thread.
That's it for Red Thread this week. You can help.
Well, we got to the
show.
bottom of that. There is an island with nothing on it. Confirmed.
And satellites sometimes fuck up in the area. And there's a cult that's not actually a cult, it's just an art studio.
Well, we'll see you back next week for more educative, informative, and, dare I say, explosive content.
You can help support our investigation efforts over at official.men. Sign up for a free 7-day trial for ad-free early access to Red Thread episodes. Honest to God, we've been doing a lot of current topics lately, and people have been asking us to get back to more niche conspiratorial / mysterious elements like this. So if you didn't like this episode, it's your fault. It's your fault. You asked for it. Yeah.
You know what?
We did our best.
Strangely, I really did like this episode.
Oh my God. Why? Because it was so...
It was sort of like the information version of white noise. It was awesome. I feel calmer and more soothed about the world.
You feel more relaxed? Do you think this was a better art project than their Ministry of Humanities was? Or do you prefer theirs?
Ours is definitely more of a long game than theirs is. Yeah, we really have to buy into ours.
Yeah, you have to make it through all of the conversations about dominoes as well as shit buckets, chamber pots to get to the
which is the real message.
Yeah, to get to the reward eventually, and our reward is boring science facts. You're welcome.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
There's nothing that's incorrect in any of those sentences. You've really summed it up. There's nothing really to add to this episode. It was about wind patterns on an island no one's ever heard of, in a nutshell.
Well, it was mostly about chamber pots, but yes.
Yeah, it was mostly about somehow. I think it was pretty much because, on reflection, and prove me if I'm wrong, but I think it's just because the island itself sort of reminded us of a chamber pot, and that's it. And so, you really did have to battle through a lot of that. It wasn't even subliminal messaging. This was really overt about Jackson's inner desires. Much like a lot of these art house things, it's really a journey of inward discovery, if anything else. What did you discover about yourself on this podcast? Let us know in the comments.
In many ways, in all ways, really, art is just a representation of the artist. And I guess that's why the chamber pots came out in this episode.
That's what's inside.
That's the byproduct of creating art at Red Thread, I'm afraid. Sometimes you're going to get chamber pots. Yeah, but seriously, official.men really does mean the world. If you want to go sign up, support the show, you get early access to all of our shows. And you can also ask us questions. Members send in questions on question threads over at official.men. And then we read them out on the show, like these questions. McCoyeen asks, if y'all had to move away from y'all's mega island, Australia, let's say it's sunk, would y'all rather move to a dry, arid desert island like Curacao in the Caribbean, Beacon Island off the coast of Perth, or a cold island like Sandwich Islands or Faroe Island, the secret Nordic country? So basically, would you prefer to live in a cold island or a hot island? Choose.
Man, if Beacon Island's what I think it is. Let me just double check this. Beacon Island, J-shaped Coral Island. Yeah. Best known for the Batavia wreck, which is something that we do have to do a Red Thread about.
Oh, is that the one you were talking about like ages ago on the show? Yeah, we'll do something about that.
God, it is way more habitable than that other island that we were talking about. for its history, I wouldn't mind living there. Also, there's reefs. I like snorkeling. I'm saying there.
Oh man, I love diving and snorkeling so much. So good.
Yeah, you think you're so good with your diver money, don't you, Jackson? Go
Diver
on,
money.
lord it over to everybody else. This is what your memberships are going to, guys. Just know that.
Yeah, diving.
With your diving.
Precious oxygen.
Go on,
After
as if that's
a
some
hard
sort of
day.
necessity in life. Oxygen.
After a hard day of chamber pot cleaning, I head out into the ocean to dive.
Yeah, with my, diving buddies that are related to Macron. It's like
I'm gonna choose which island is the one with the giant crabs that walk across the road? Is it Christmas Island or is it?
you can't choose Christmas Island, can you?
Why?
Is
Why
that not?
It's an
Is that
island.
an option?
It's an island. What do you mean? Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
choosing
thought
that.
that you had to choose a crap island. Christmas Island's mad.
I've never been. Have you
You
been?
can choose any island. All right, well, everybody in Nandi, Fiji, get out. That's my capital from now on.
That's your island now.
Some of
it
you
has
can
to be
stay for cane toad management.
It
What?
has to be small. It has to be small island.
Christmas Island's sick.
Have you been?
You know
to
what?
Christmas
I might
Island?
go to. No, I'm going to Christmas Island this Christmas.
Okay.
Is that when the baby crabs come out?
Yeah. When do the crabs come out? I want to go when the crabs come out. I think
I
it's
want to
all the
see
time.
them getting eaten by ants. No,
You
it
see,
can't be all the
like,
time. They do it for breeding.
You see the Christmas islands, the crabs just cover the roads. Does seem a bit annoying, but I would like to go.
Millions of land crabs far out.
That's a lot of crabs.
And they go in cool paths. That's also very cool.
Yeah. All right. We should go to Christmas Island. They've got an airport there.
Well, I'd
Does
imagine
seem
so.
like well, I don't know. There's some islands where like the only way to get there is like cruise ships and shit like that.
Yeah, but I think Christmas Island is got people, right? Is Christmas
yeah,
Island
that's-
our property? Do we own it?
I think we might. We have a detention island there, don't we? A detention
Do we?
facility. Yeah, the Christmas Island Immigration Detention Center.
All right, well, at least we're using it for something. Unlike that crap Bativa Island.
Yeah. Yeah, it still looks like a beautiful island. I'd choose that. I'd definitely choose somewhere like tropical, I guess, kind of like that. I don't.
I
Like a
do
cold
also
island.
like the cold island. Okay, what is the island that is the last island on that chain of islands in Alaska? It's kind of cool living on a cold island, man.
No, it's way
I feel
harder.
like you get a lot of Ernest Hemingway-esque literature out of yourself if you did.
You'd go absolutely crazy.
Most remote island in Alaska.
Is it?
I do
Atu
like
Island?
that. Honestly, there's nothing that speaks to my soul more. I am one of those characters that mysteriously resembles Stephen King's life a lot in all of his books about some writer with a chronic alcohol problem that lives remotely. That really speaks to me. I like that life.
I think you're underestimating how difficult and crazy you would get in a cold environment like that. I love cold weather and stuff. I love snow and stuff, but living on a, remote island, I would definitely prefer tropical.
But then you go crazy from your mind melting. Did you ever think about that? I suppose you'd be happy
good
crazy though. Cold crazy is depressing.
Yeah, I was going to say you were just depressed in that situation where it's dark, 20 hours of the day.
All right, but Jackson, come on. Look up Unalaska and tell me that you don't want to spend 6 months of your life there.
On Alaska?
Isn't it incredible that it's called Unalaska?
Yeah, what the fuck? Gotta be a joke. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I don't know.
That's Alaska, baby. That's going to be cold.
Nathan Nemers asks, what are Jackson and Geordie's favorite YouTubers?
Oh, Fred, for sure.
The
Jackson, yours?
I'm trying. I was hoping you would have a longer explanation because I was going to look up a chamber pot YouTuber. of a joke, but I can't find it.
Okay, I like Fred because of Fred 2 and 3, which I really felt built up on the original movie. I like the fact that he also employed that chick that was from that smash hit Nickelodeon show iCarly. That was a good addition. I wish that she did a few more shows before she wrote a book trashing her dead mum, which I found a riveting read that I couldn't put down apart from the chronic references to bulimia throughout, which I had to say was quite ironically sickening. I think that Fred probably lives on Unalaska now. What does that guy do? He has to be the original YouTuber, right? Oh, you found someone.
No, I haven't found anyone. I just have found it very impressive that you were able to rattle on that long about Fred and Jeanette McCurdy. Very, 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 very impressive skill. I did
Jeanette
look up
McCurdy, that's
reviews.
the one.
I did look up chamber pot reviews though, and I can't find any chamber pot reviews on YouTube. Interestingly enough, so I feel like there's a niche that's
gap in the market,
just waiting to be ironically filled, just like a chamber pot. So get on that. Get on that. We need more chamber pot reviews out there. Do they even make chamber pots anymore?
Let's find out. I think that the closest thing will be like a toddler potty, but let's see.
No,
I mean,
true.
really, why would you use a chamber pot? No, that can't be true. I looked up chamber pot. One of the recommended is chamber pot Kmart. Yep, they still make them. Available in his and hers. Jackson, you're still in business, mate. Look at you go.
Someone's going to clean those chamber pots. It won't be the people buying them. I saw my favorite YouTuber. I don't really watch YouTube that much, so I don't really have a favorite YouTuber.
You hate YouTubers.
I would say my favorite YouTuber is just clip montages of German985, who's you wouldn't know him, Jordan, but he's a gamer. He's a game YouTuber, but he's very funny. So he's probably my favorite at the moment. What about you? Do you have a serious answer for a YouTube channel that you quite enjoy?
I don't want to reveal to the audience how autistic I am, but I think that my favorite... I'm ashamed of it. I think my favorite YouTube channel of all time might be Kings and Generals. There's something really, really satisfying about watching two armies come together represented by little blocks from a 2D bird's eye view angle and crack against each other. Kings and Generals.
I'm looking it up. I've never even heard of it.
That has to have a audience share that is like 99.9% male. No woman is watching that channel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what you would like? Not to make this too nerdy or anything for you, but you would like those, not Warhammer, what are those games called? Like is it Total Empire? What are they called?
Total War.
Total War, yeah, those games.
Total War's sick. Total War, I think, is the best games of all time with my extensive knowledge of playing that and Zombinis. I think that it beat that one.
I think Club Penguin's a little bit better.
Club Penguin?
Over to... You don't know what that is. It's a kid's game.
Interesting.
Talon and
snap.
the
What a
Boxtrot
sick
asks, game. Who would win in a 1v1, Bouvet Island or Epstein Island? And also, could it be Epstein's backup island? Jordan?
Could be Epstein's backup island. I think that he'd probably have many, though. So it's one of probably every island, especially the one, Christmas Island, which I think, there's a lot of underage crabs there to touch. Bouvet, I think, in a 1v1 would absolutely get cucked out to Epstein's Island. Epstein's Island has the power to grope. Bouvet seems to sit there and take it all the time. Anyway, much more placid. I mean, Jackson fucked Bouvet Island, for fuck's sake. Imagine what Epstein's Island would do to it. I did.
It's too submissive. Groover asks, do you believe
Not my best island I fucked.
Do you believe that these strange weather patterns could be caused by something deep underwater near the location that we don't understand yet? Yeah, just go back to the weather, the antenna, the giant antenna that we talked about pretty close to the start of the episode. There's clearly things under the water out there. So, I mean,
I think it's underwater aliens.
The ocean is, believe it or not, extremely large and unexplored. So I'm not going to say no. It's possible, right?
Please let there be an underwater civilization of aliens under there controlling it and slightly moving it around and making all the hurricanes hit Africa for no reason.
Yeah, just mean, just very racist against Africa down there underneath Bouvet Island for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. I'm going to guess it's got something to do with the fact that the Madagascarans drove them out centuries ago and they've had it in for them.
Yeah, there's some kind of like just enormous war being waged that we don't know about throughout history between Madagascar and the citizens of Bouvet Island.
Underwater land. Yes.
Yeah, underwater land.
Which I've got to say, terrible title. Underwater land defeats its own purpose. Guys, get a better language. Still, I want to meet you and communicate with you.
And clean your chamber pots. Thank you very much for this episode of Red Thread. Appreciate you guys joining us for yet another one. We'll see you next week with, I don't know what, probably Chris Chan Part 3. I don't know when that's coming out. Hopefully soon. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Boom.
Bye.